Ruth Mac and Trasetta Washington, two top-notch career and business strategists, are here to help you defy standards and break boundaries. Join them as they share powerful insights that have already impacted thousands of people and will have a major impact on your career, life balance, and business.
We're at it again. Hey, everybody. Hey, Trasetta. Listen, I know we start talking and I just love, I think we're going to get, our time is getting closer. We're going to start giving some people the behind the scene, when we're talking about today. Everyone, y'all come on in. It is a delightful day here on this side of heaven. And I'm super excited and super elated. We're wrapping up the Breaking Boundaries episode. We're finally opening up an arena that I'm sure you all have been thinking about, maybe kind of pondering it when it comes to the next part of our Burnout to Bliss. But before we go into what we're going to be talking about, go ahead and I want you to be able to inspire some others to come in. If you're new here, sit on tight, hang tight, maybe grab a pen and paper, grab your favorite beverage. But for those who are familiar with us, let us know in the comments that you're excited, you're pumped up and ready, because you're ready to not just to fuel your success, but we're going to go ahead and kind of give you a sneak preview of what we're going to talk about today. From Burnout to Bliss, we're going to show up and show out, right, Trasetta, on nutrition tips. Yeah, nutrition tips for high-performing professionals. Now, before we go into that, I'm pretty sure you probably are wondering, who are these delightful light beings up in my newsfeed, depending on where you're streaming or where you're watching. Well, I'm Ruth, and high performers, they come to us because here's the truth. They're either wanting to shift from being unrecognized to standing out as the superstars as they are, so that they can now be more appealing and more marketable to those ideal companies that they're looking to land as their next higher opportunity. We here at Promote Yourself, we have a variety of ways to elevate your career and help champion some of those hurdles that you may be finding as roadblocks. Go ahead and leave a comment below, or matter of fact, go ahead and take advantage of our 20-minute free masterclass at joinpromoteyourself.us. And after that, let us know if you're saying, you know what, I definitely would love to go ahead and see how we can help master that, building that roadmap to getting you to your next level. All right.
And hey, everybody, I am Trasetta Washington, CEO of Profitable Productivity. And what we do is partner with ambitious women in leadership and help them overcome burnout and overwhelm by using an approach that really combines time management strategies with intentional self-care practices, or what I like to call balanced ambition. I draw from my 25 plus years of operations management experience and provide really tailored solutions that increase productivity and create sustainable success in the lives of the women that I work with. So I'm empowering women to achieve their goals without sacrificing their health or their well-being. If you want to learn more, then hop on a call with me, go to chatwithtrasetta.com, and we can have a quick conversation about how you too can start to create balanced ambition in your own life. I'm ready. I'm excited for today's conversation.
I am. You know what? I am. Let's just cut to the chase. Let's just cut some of the fat for those who are more of my lean eaters. Welcome again. And it is so viable because we're in a time in the season in our neck of the woods, maybe perhaps in your neck of the woods as well. We live in a very fast-paced environment. And sometimes we tend to skip meals, right? And as high performers, if you work in a very fast-paced environment, oftentimes your nutrition may take the back seat, right? Oftentimes you may find yourself demanding your schedule to take priority, but what happened to taking priority when it comes to your well-being and making sure that you're afloat? I know we were talking behind the scenes and we were touching some areas on how focus has now become more of the highway, or taking the dim, or taking a dimmer light, where it's now not being taken precedent. It's not taking precedence. And the truth is that nutrition plays a major role around focus, right?
Yeah.
And it plays a major role around fueling towards success. And so you're probably wondering, well, how do we be able to sustain that? How do we take our performance, even in our peak performance, and how do we balance our diet? How do we balance on taking priority, making a regimen, doing it on purpose, creating a discipline, a lifestyle around the necessary nutrients that we need, right, Trasetta? And
Absolutely.
I'm going to be the first to admit, and sometimes you may have it to where you're groggy throughout the day, maybe getting fogginess in your functional way of thinking. And now you want to give yourself permission to what? Enhance your focus, enhance your clarity, and boost some of your energy, right? Levels. Like we were talking about what ways we can talk, and I'm excited to even share on what is the new way to promote overall your well-being. Let's dive in on that. I think that's a very good way to kind of jump in and prioritize some of this good nuggets that we're going to spill over here.
Yeah. By taking the time to really prioritize your nutrition and to start to make really intentional and conscious decisions about what we put in our bodies to fuel it, you can really start to unlock your full potential and achieve that optimal level of productivity that you're desiring to, so that you can thrive, right, in your professional environment. Because you have to remember that the things that we eat directly impact how we are able to perform. So let's actually nourish our bodies, right? Let's nourish ourselves for success and embrace the power of nutrition on this journey to greatness.
I can agree with you more. I can agree with you more.
Yeah. But before we dive in, right, before we go off into the deep end on this topic, I want to remind you that the Breaking Boundaries podcast is available on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
In fact, we are live streaming there now. So we went through the process, the grueling process, if you will, of adding all the past episodes of Breaking Boundaries to the channel. So moving forward, all our new episodes are being live streamed there. So every single week. So go ahead, head over to our YouTube channel. It's the Breaking Boundaries podcast.
Yes.
And catch all of our inspiring conversations and engaging content as we continue breaking boundaries together. Don't forget, make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all the things so that you can stay up to date on our latest episodes.
I love it. I love it.
Are you ready to dive in?
I think it's about that time. I want us to have a true kumbaya moment. Let's just face it. At the end of the day, do we want to wait till we get to a senior age, to where we're now wanting to kick ourselves in the butt and be like, geez, man, and I want to look back and regret and calling myself having aches and pains and having to find myself locking up? No, you want to be just as vibrant as you were when you were in your 20s, but now you're now in your prime and you want to be full throttle in. So the relationship that I want to help exhilarate in our conversation today is between nutrition and productivity. So you already go ahead and just let me know you're ready. You may even want to go back and the God honest truth and hit replay.
Yeah.
Because this is so important, even in this day and time that we're in, where everything is inflated, cost is out the wizard, and you're wanting to go, maybe perhaps get a nutritionist, get a wellness coach, and you're finding yourself saying, what ways can I actually explore this option without negating my true being, my true well-being for self, right? So let's explore how nutrition impacts this most massive part of our well-being, which is our cognitive function and energy levels. Let's break that into some bite size, because nutrition itself not only affects your cognitive way of thinking and your functionality on your day-to-day operation, how you operate and start your day. You want to be able to support your brain health and your the neurotransmission around your productivity on a day-to-day. The neurotransmitters, if you all are saying, well, what is it that you're looking to improve? I'm glad you asked. Because as I'm teaching you, we are wanting to unfold and make this a paradigm shift Who is ready to say, you know what, Ruth, you're onto something? I think maybe the chemicals that we're providing or we're messaging through our brain may be stagnant or may be impacted. And there are substances, for example, and then maybe you all are familiar, go ahead and maybe share them in the comments, that helps transmit signals or messages between nerve cells and also in your neurons. And many of you all probably, if you are a YouTube or someone that loves to just binge watch on what ways can I definitely find this crucial way of learning and teaching myself on how to get my memory intact, how to not wait to figure out that, okay, something's off. My mood is off. Is it maybe because I'm now moving into a prime womanhood of, what is it called these days? You know, they have all kinds of names, but why should we wait till we get to that certain level, right? And what we're trying to do here is we want to help you all work together on coordinating your thoughts, your emotions and actions when it comes to balancing that neurotransmitter and those tiny little areas that your neurons are talking to each other on an ongoing basis. So let's go ahead and kind of fast forward a little bit on what ways can we intake some of this nutrients like omega-3. Who's familiar with that? Like the 3 fatty acids, the vitamins such as, I'm a big stickler when it comes to vitamin B.
Me too.
Because it boosts my energy and also taking advantage of elevating your iron, your zinc, and other elements. And there's so many variety of nutritional shops like GNC, Vitamin. Amazon has a plethora of areas. I don't even have anyone specific that I'm going to sign off on, but I definitely want you to challenge yourself to see what ways can you keep yourself hydrated? What ways can you allow your brain, your cognitive way of functioning to start being in balance? What else? What else can we kind of give them in a more practical way? I don't know, because I believe that our diets are being deprived these days collectively as a human race.
Absolutely. And, I want to pause for a moment. You talked about, proper hydration. I don't think people really realize just how much dehydration can impact your energy levels, your brain performance, and just your overall body functions. Dehydration has a huge impact on your overall well-being. So it's really important to make sure that you're drinking water. I got my water right here. Right. So you want to make sure that you drink. If you don't do anything else, even if I'm not, don't think that I'm signing off on you eating all this junk, because I'm not. What I'm saying is, if you don't do anything else, make sure you drink your water. Right?
Yeah, that's where our body is majority consists of. So you want to actually, am I keeping that as a ritual on an ongoing basis? Absolutely.
Yeah. And later on, we'll share with you some specific foods that you can eat that are high in water content, so that you don't necessarily, if you're one of those type people who's like, I don't really like drinking water, you can get your water through your food as well, or some of your water through your food. But before we go into that, I want to share with you just some practical tips for helping you to maintain a healthy diet. The very first thing is to make sure you're prioritizing whole and nutrient dense foods. You want to make sure that you fill your plate with foods like fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins like poultry and fish, as well as healthy fats like avocado, right? Because these foods are going to provide the essential nutrients that you need and are generally lower in added sugars and processed ingredients, which is going to be really good for this body because we only get one, right? I know the next one is something that I implore a lot, because if I don't, I'm not going to eat regularly. And that is to plan and prepare your meals in advance.
Oh my goodness. I think we need to start there, because a lot of times when you're moving from the weekends to during the mundane week, where you find yourself to collapse on time is, oh my gosh, you find yourself absorbed with your 8-hour, 10-hour work weeks, work days, and then you're thinking in the back of your head, I haven't even prepped dinner or lunch or even anything in between, right?
Right. And it, if you just take some time every single week, like 30 minutes to plan out your meals and your snacks. Don't forget your snacks, because if you don't plan out your snacks as well, you're going to go to the vending machine and get something horrible for you. So you want to plan your snacks. You want to plan your snacks as well. But create a grocery list and also batch cook your meals so that you have healthy options readily available. Typically, we will reach for the junk or the things that aren't as healthy because we're hungry in the moment, and we want to stop our stomachs from making all that noise. So we just grab whatever is convenience and whatever is fast, but that's not necessarily a nutritious choice. So by batch cooking your meals, so think about if you're cooking something. One of the things that I like to do is I cook gumbo. I fix gumbo during the winter, not during summer, because it's too hot here in Florida.
Let me know when you cook it next time.
I will do that. I will do that. But yeah, so in the wintertime, I fix gumbo, but it is very labor intensive. It takes like 2 hours just to cook. That's not including the time it takes me to prep by cutting up all the meat and vegetables and things that go into it. So you're talking about 2.5 to 3 hours of prep time, of cook time, prep and cook time. So what I tend to do is I do a double batch. That way, because it takes me the exact same amount of time to prepare it as if I'm doing a single batch, but I get double portions, so then I can freeze some of it. And what I'm doing is I am helping future me have pre-prepared meals on those days when I don't have the energy or I don't have the time to actually cook. So be kind and generous to your future self by batch cooking so that you can put some things away into the freezer for a later time for those times. So you have your own like frozen meals that are healthy because you know what's gone into it, as opposed to those processed frozen meals that we don't always know what's in those things.
That's an amazing thing that you just shared. Like, what would your future version of yourself be asking yourself? Like, have you taken the time to have an intimate conversation with who you're becoming? Because sometimes those are uncomfortable conversations at times. Who can relate? Let us know in the comments. Like, you know what, you're onto some. If you know you may be overweight or even underweight, and it's easy to just go to Dunkin' Donuts, grab you some donuts, grab that high sugar coffee latte, and then find yourself wondering why your glucose is low or high and your insulin. The question you want to ask yourself is, do you want to wait till you get that medical report? Or should you say, you know what, let me do the uncomfortable journey now. Let me get myself at least to a routine. Even if it has to take where you may have to sit on your hands and continue driving or continue walking with your eyes on the road and on the prize and not look sideways at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, or Mickey D's.
Or the hot now sign for Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme, oh my gosh. And I say this with love because I too want you to ask yourself, you want to enjoy food. I'm a foodie person, don't get me wrong. But we want to help you practice. We want to help each other practice. What ways can we moderate some of these old habits and create ways where we're not depriving ourselves from actual nutrients, right? Yeah, I can agree with you more. And also, sometimes what's the harm at reaching out to someone outside of you? Seeking professional guidance. And it may consider consulting with a registered dietitian, a nutritionist, a wellness coach. There's so many ways of how they're personalizing their programs. There's so many of them where they have courses, self-paced courses, or maybe you want to have someone virtually, like a Pentagon, what they call those workouts where they have the Penta, where you can be on the treadmill and then you can actually do a membership where they schedule a Peloton. Thank you. I was giving it a whole different name. And so, if that's something that's within your reach, all we're asking is, what ways can you have something or someone hold you accountable, hold you to where you're getting that tailored guidance? And even if to specify your needs and your current goals for that moment. I know I come from a generation of family, which the bus has stopped from then, where obesity was huge. And like I said, we love food. And what ways do you want to harness not making it to be a genetic thing? Because some of y'all will say, well, it's in the genes, it's in the DNA, it's in the blood. So I'm going to accept it. I'm going to accept that I may have some cardiovascular issues. So what ways can you work around that, right? Your nutrition, your well-being. And so we want to kind of dive in even more deeper. What ways can they do this optimal brain function and maybe marrying it with a hyper way of getting more focus? Because that, who can put in the comments that has been maybe your dormant, maybe your crutch these days, and you're like, man, I can't even remember. I go downstairs, if you're going maybe from the west wing to the east wing of the home, and you're like, I don't even remember what I even came on this side of town to look for, but yet you get frustrated, and then 2-3 hours later you didn't remember it. By that time, you're already probably tired and you're ready to go take your nap or move on to the next big thing. Who can attest to that? Go ahead and let us know that we're not alone here, right?
Yeah, I've definitely been there. And, we started at the offshoot talking about how your nutrition impacts your ability to focus and your brain function. And so we want to share with you some foods that really will help to boost your brain function and elevate your hydration.
Yes.
So some of the top foods are going to be like fatty fishes. So think like salmon, trout, sardines. All of these are rich in the omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain health and function. Blueberries, which is one of my favorites. Matter of fact, I use blueberries as a healthy snack. They are packed with antioxidants, and they've also been shown to improve brain health, including your memory as well as cognitive function.
I like that.
Then there's the spice turmeric, which has anti-inflammatory as well as antioxidant properties that can potentially support brain health, as well as protect against age-related cognitive decline. So think dementia, right?
Yes.
Or pumpkin seeds, which are also a great source of antioxidants. They also have the minerals magnesium, iron, zinc, and other nutrients that help to support brain health and function. This one you're probably really going to like, dark chocolate, right? So you get a little chocolate treat. Just make sure you're getting dark chocolate, right? Not milk chocolate, but dark chocolate, because dark chocolate has a high cocoa content, which is rich in flavonoids and antioxidants, which have been associated with improved brain function, focus, and mood.
That is so good to know.
Yeah. So indulge in your don't overindulge, right? We're not overindulging, but you can have that sweet treat that's going to help improve your brain function. And then finally, nuts, right? Eating nuts like almonds, walnuts, cashews can also provide you with those beneficial nutrients, including antioxidants, healthy fats, vitamin E, all of which support brain health. And then in terms
I like that you add those, because if I can just jump in, because I love the fact that you're mentioning a lot of berries and nuts. These are items already that has hydration in it. Like the berries, these are things that already have the natural, but now we want to kind of help them understand, well, what ways can they keep? Because your body alone absorbs all of that. And it may get to the point where you don't want to feel like, okay, am I dehydrating? Am I getting to the point where am I offsetting some other signals of my body to now be imbalanced, as we were talking about earlier? So what ways can we then help them incorporate, although some of the items do already have hydration, have water in it, like the berries, but I'm thinking they may want to know what ways to make it more fluid, more hydrated, for those who like to have both, but best of both worlds, right?
Right. Because we talked, I mentioned earlier how, it's a lot of people. I actually enjoy drinking water. That's my primary beverage on a daily basis. But there's a lot of people who just really don't like to consume water. So we wanted to share with you all some foods that you can eat that are high in water content, so that you can hydrate through your foods.
I think that's important. Yeah.
Number one is this time of year is the best time to get it, which is watermelon. Right? Watermelon is 92% water. So it's a really great fruit for you to eat to hydrate your body. Cucumbers are also high in water content. They're 96% water. So they're not only hydrating, but refreshing. Strawberries, right? We talked about blueberries early, but strawberries contain 92% water. They also have a lot of antioxidants and vitamins within them.
I
Then
like
you've got oranges, which are rich in vitamin C, as well as water. And then surprisingly, spinach. You wouldn't think that.
I love that we're adding some color into this. Let's add some green.
You wouldn't think that a leafy green vegetable would be high in water content, but spinach is. Not only that, it has a lot of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that you need in order to support your hydration and your brain health. But we want to remind you that while these foods can support brain health and hydration, it's important to make sure that you have a balanced diet overall and make sure
that they should do this every day. Like when I hear balance, let's kind of break it down in practical terms. What is that consist of? Do they eat it maybe just once or twice a day or a few times a week? Or do you want to give them a permission and say, well, you know what, we need to assess on how much. We're not going to break it down as far as ounces, but giving them an idea that do you need to have this somewhere throughout the day or at least a meal a day?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's going to be different for every person. Ideally, you want to make sure that you have a wide variety of color on your plate every single meal. However, I recognize that that's not always possible. So you want to make sure that you're incorporating these things in at least one meal every single day so that you're ensuring that you're getting an appropriate amount. Also, if you're already struggling with your energy levels, even though you're getting an adequate amount of sleep each night, so you're getting your 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night, but you still wake up tired, then there's probably some sort of nutritional deficit within your body. So you want to consult your physician or a dietitian to really assess your levels, do some blood work to assess your vitamin mineral content within your bloodstream so that you can figure out where you're lacking so that you can boost that area. And recognize that some of these things work in, like some foods prevent the absorption of other vitamins. So you want to do a little research to figure out what food combinations actually work well for you.
That's because everybody has different blood types.
Absolutely.
There's things that you may think that works really well for your partner or your peers or your friends, and you're wondering, well, why when I take it, it's like, it's not giving you the same outcome or the same push or results, right? So I definitely concur on, there's books out there as well where it even talk about how you can manage your nutrition when it comes to the blood type. And that was something that I actually just stumbled upon just about within 3-4 years ago, where if you're wanting to because not every diet is meant to be followed for everyone. And so that's where we just wanted to kind of let you all remember that while foods and drinking water and supporting your health and hydration is so valuable, a lot of times we want to help you push it back to the forefront. What ways can you now make it a habit or routine? Now, we would love to hear from you all, and knowing that is these key points giving you a conviction? Is it setting you on fire? Like, I'm not waiting until I find myself fainting or falling back, or you're in this rush of nerves or stress, whatever the case may be, and it just offsets those chemicals in your body, or just offsets some of your routine to now take the back seat. And is it fair to you and your family and your livelihood, whoever may be connected? Let us know in the comments that you're wanting to take action. You want to now give yourself the leeway of, I want to live another 40, 50 years of healthy life. Should I have to then say, I don't want to maybe engage in donuts every night? You can. We're not saying that. I'm not saying to just disconnect from not eating healthy altogether, right? I would be the first to say that would not work for me either. But at least know to be true that there's other elements. There's beautiful food out there that's actually tasty. You know, I told my husband the other day in closing, I said, I'm going to add some more greens. And I was eating a salad for a snack. I said, what if I just ate it without adding any dressing on it? Where I just ate the spinach, because I was eating some spinach and some relish, some lettuce, and and just ate it as though I was eating chips. Like, imagine if you're eating the stuff that you don't like, but the things that you really do like. And then imagine that that's going to take a discipline. I don't know about you, but I'll let y'all know how that turns out. Because I'm calling myself eating it as though it's just a bag of chips. And I'm just going to allow the leaves to just fall where they fall when they go.
I got a trick for you for that.
What's that?
Do kale. And
Ooh.
you can take fresh kale and bake it in the oven and make kale chips. So just sprinkle a little seasoning on it, and so you can have a healthy chip. You can do that with just about any vegetable, and make, even like potato chips. If you do, have like a mandolin and you can do thin slices of potato, you can make your own potato chips that are healthier than what you would buy in the store. Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to that. I love that. I hope that you all have found. Let us know in the comments, based on what we just collected. We talked about the optimal part of the brain and the function, and marrying it with getting your focus to start boosting up some more energy. And what practical ways can you actually put this to work by maintaining a healthy diet? I mean, the list goes on. We want you to walk away with building that relationship between nutrition and productivity. Because here's the truth. If all of us continue to go down the path of working as high performers, going through the 8 to 10, maybe 12 hours for those who are working 12, 14-hour shifts, and not give yourself the time to say, what do I need to do to make it a routine of making sure that I'm balancing my neurotransmitters, my neurons, my way of thinking, my health, all of that. So we talked about it last time. We want to be able to see our grandkids cross the stage, and you want to do it in a healthy mindset and vibrant energy. Yes. So let us know if this has been definitely helpful for you all, that you're going to go ahead and grab the baton and take some challenge and move the needle forward and go ahead and take action, and I definitely love for you all to continue to follow us. Let us know if you like this, if this has definitely been impactful. Again, go back and hit replay, share it with your groups, your peers, because always, and I want to close off with this. I want you to know that we want to disrupt this algorithm. We want to disrupt our community, our humanity, to know that we want to elevate breaking boundaries. You want to take that limitation that may have been something that you grew up with, and now just disrupt it, right? Remember the power to create a life of balance and well-being. And guess what? It's within your reach. It's not something that you may just be dreaming and saying, maybe in another lifetime. Keep moving, keep thriving, and most importantly, keep breaking boundaries. Yes? Until next time, everyone, it's been a joy like always.
Bye for now.
Join and subscribe with career strategist Ruth Mac and business strategist Trasetta Washington to the Breaking Boundaries podcast each week. You too can experience the limitless potential of rewriting rules and creating an extraordinary future for yourself.